They don't stop. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, they don't stop. Can't believe that shit. Yeah. The fact we can get started now. I know. I messed up. I got too hyped. Because I was so happy. I was caught in the moment with the Knicks, and I just wanted to hear what Stephen A. Smith was gonna say, because it's like I want to see how you get out of that. All that disrespect you was doing, Cam. You said you been called it for the Knicks, but you wasn't enthusiastic. It felt like you didn't, but it is what it is. But yeah, we about to get started right now. We about to really get started right now. We have to really get started right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm gonna give it like 30 more seconds, and then we going. All right, I think it's time we could go now. So yeah, we could get off this. Again, shout out to the Knicks for winning. Can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my screen? Good. Family, make sure you make you thumbing up the stream, you supporting the stream any way you can. PayPal, Cash App, super thanks. You joining the channel, sending the jewels, the rubies, anything. All support is good. Whole lot of ones be a whole lot of nuns. I appreciate it all. I tell you that. I appreciate all the support. So, and if you want to know where the PayPal and the Cash App is at, it's in the pinned comment. But yeah, hype points, we do it all. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, the what you call it went off. Can't believe that. I cannot believe that happened just now like that. But anyway, yeah, let's get into this. This is Tariq talking about the boycott. For all you who don't know, there's now, because remember, I was talking about this. I talked about the boycott issue before, and I talked about how I don't think it's like really a good idea, and I think it's like pretty much meaningless. It's not going to happen. Too much money on the line now, so people are not going to do it. And now you got the Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, the Black Congressional Caucus, calling for the boycott. And I don't see nobody giving Hakeem Jeffries none of his praise for doing so. Because remember, like I said, a lot of people attack the Democrats and like, oh, y'all not doing nothing. Hakeem Jeffries, none of y'all doing nothing. I'm like, they don't have the power to do nothing. People be like, so they could at least make some noise. They could at least, just say something. Now they're doing that. And I don't see them getting any love or getting any credit for doing that. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's see what Tariq got to say. I think Fahima sent me this. Shout out to Fahima. She was in the building earlier, but yeah, but let's get into this.
Who made the classic song It Takes Two. Rob Bass passed away. So RIP to Rob Bass. All right. It comes out June 7th. Okay, I can't wait to see it. But speaking of the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about tonight. Boy, y'all people at the Democrats, y'all people at the Democrats, NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus, this redistricting of those voting blocks and all that, that's been busted up. So now the Democrats are about to lose a lot of their seats now. The block is getting real hot for the Democrats.
It's not Democrats losing a lot of seats. That's black people's seats. Remember, like I keep telling people, those are black seats. Those were created for black people to control their own political destiny and for black people to have a say at the federal government. That's why those seats was created. Black people were free to vote Republican. They were free to vote Democrat. They were free to vote third party. They was free to vote independent. They was free to create their own political party. That's what those seats did. The biggest losers with those seats being gone is not the Democratic Party. It's black people. It's black people.
And they're trying to make it seem, black people are in jeopardy now. Oh,
black people are in jeopardy. Those are not Democrat seats. Those are black people seats. Like if you even was paying attention to the court case, it was even pointed out that they could have drew those maps in a way that would have made it a Democrat seat. But by just making it a Democrat seat, that wouldn't mean black people had a voice. Because there's a lot of white people who vote Democrat who would not have voted for a black candidate or cared about what black people said. Or there have been so many white Democrats that it would have overpowered the black people. So they specifically drew it in a way that black people would have to say. Black people would get to choose whether they wanted to vote for a white candidate, a black candidate, a Republican candidate, or a Democratic candidate. This is a loss for black people. This is not a loss for the Democratic Party in the way you trying to make it seem.
All black people are in jeopardy because of the Democrats losing their damn jobs, their cushy jobs. Oh, the Democrats are sounding the alarm. Black people, oh, this is an emergency, black people. Oh, the sky.
Of course he's happy. Remember, Tariq, we covered the video before where Tariq was like, oh, this is a good thing because now that black people are losing all this political power, the DNC doesn't have to pay shills to make videos about me. He said that. This bozo literally was celebrating black people losing political power because he said, well, now that'll mean that the Democrats have no use for black Democratic shills, so they'll stop paying them, so they'll stop making videos about me. He said that.
Sky is falling, black people. Oh, we gotta vote like we've never voted before. We gotta, Roland Martins he's choking on Applebee's onion rings. He doesn't know what to do. These people are crashing out. So the NAACP, they have something that they call the out of bounds campaign. What they want to do, the Congressional Black Caucus backing up the NAACP, they got something that they said is called the out of bounds campaign. So what
exactly? That's him projecting because he's being paid. This is how he's getting money. He's getting money either directly or indirectly by doing this nonstop attack against the Democrats.
What they're doing, because the Democrats are about to lose their seats, they're telling black athletes, the recruits and the families and the alumni to basically withhold athletic financial support from public universities in some of the southern states that the NAACP say is weakening their black voting power through redistricting. So their slogan is no representation, no recruitment, no revenue. So what they're saying is that these universities, they profit from black athletes, especially football and basketball. The same state government, they're diluting the black political representation. And the NAACP says that's out of bounds. It's a sports reference. So they're talking about places like Tennessee, Louisiana, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Texas, and Georgia. So they want to put pressure on the big money athletic programs, schools like Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Florida State, and all that. They want to kind of put a wrench in the revenue, you see. So they want black athletes, and they're calling on black athletes specifically to withhold their commitments from these schools until these states restore what the NAACP says, fair congressional maps for meaningful representation. All right. So the NAACP, they say these people got to adopt state voting rights act, withdraw or repeal the maps that are diluting the black voting power, restore congressional judicial districts that reflect the black population and the voting strength, and commitment to transparent redistricting. So they want black people to save them, basically. The NAACP.
This nigga dumb. This nigga's dumb. They want black people to save themselves. Do you not understand this, right? This is black political power. This is not nobody else. This is not Democratic political power. This is not Mexican political power. This is not Asian political power. This is black people's political power. The majority of black people live in the South. if this is allowed to continue, the majority of black people in this country will have no political representation. They'll have no political representation, no way, shape, or form. They won't be able to affect things at the state level. They won't be able to affect, they'll be able to do little to nothing to affect things at the state level, or to break their states, whole. The Republican that got on a state whole. They won't be able to affect anything for Congress. They won't be able to affect anything for the presidential, for the general election for the president. Excuse me. I'm getting a little tongue-tied right now because I am really hot. Because it's like, how many times we gonna have to listen to this nonsense? How many times? Like, this is getting so frustrating. How many times? Like, how can somebody literally say this and you got adults, grown people listening and watching this and thinking it makes sense? This is black political power. You do know the majority of black people live in the South. They will have no political power. They will have no say-so. None. Which means even if you found the perfect black candidates who had the perfect plans for black people, they can't get elected. They can't get elected, so they can't do anything for black people. Like, political power is the second power. The first power, which all power comes from, is the gun. That's the first power. Violence. That's the first power. That power directly comes out of that power is what? Political power. Out of political power comes every other power. Without political power, you have no power to do anything else. You got no power to do anything else. So even if you found the perfect black candidate who had the perfect policies, he can't get into office, so he can't execute them. He or she. Like, this is nonsense.
He and the Congressional Black Caucus, they know them seats about to dry up. They about to get up out of office because of the redistricting. They're going to lose their seats. Or let's just tell the nitty-gritty. They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their seats in these places. So they want black folks to come save them. A lot of black folks are like, yeah, we ain't really doing all that. See, the reason why this is falling flat with the black community, they're asking black athletes to sacrifice the bag for symbolism. See, these legacy civil rights organizations, they're asking these 17 and 18-year-old young men to walk away from life-altering generational wealth. Yeah?
See, that's what I said why the boycott is not going to work, because they're not going to people are not going to walk away from that kind of money. But it's not for symbolism, though. They're not going to walk away from it because at the end of the day, it don't matter. These states' governments are not going to go back and change those maps. This is the South rising again. This is Jim Crow 2.0. They pushing it. Like, do y'all not remember what the what's his name? I forgot the person's name. But the Speaker of the House for Mississippi said they going for the Reconstruction Amendment. They trying to take us all the way back to the antebellum South, or the immediate aftermath of the Civil War. Which, yeah, it's still the antebellum South. As far as I'm concerned, they trying to take us back to that. That's not symbolism. This black political power is not symbolism. Like, are you stupid? He's an idiot. He knows he's an idiot, and he's talking to people who are bigger idiots. Like, do you not realize that the NAACP is a part of the black community? Do you not realize that the Congressional Black Caucus is a part of the black community? Do you not realize that those quote-unquote Democratic seats are black seats? That's black people's voices. That's black people's power. Like, do you not realize that? So yes, I firmly agree with that, because I said that when I first heard about the boycott, about why it's not going to work. It's too much money on the line. The NILs it's just too much money. People are not going to walk away from that. It's too much money. It's too much money, especially for walking away from it for what? That ain't going to change nothing. Sports don't mean that much. Sports do not mean that much. This is the Confederacy winning the peace. They get to finally win the peace with this one. They're not going to throw that away for no sports games, especially because there'll be no shortage of athletes who will take that position. For every one black athlete who does say, you know what, I'm not going to Alabama and I'm turning down that $2 million a year, there's going to be people lining up around the corner to come get that $2 million. So it's not going to work. They're going to still have their football. They're going to still have their basketball. So yes, people are not going to walk away from that. But again, this is not symbolism. How stupid can you be to call political power symbolism?
Man, with these athletes, we're in a period now where they can legally get paid for the billions of dollars of value they bring to these universities. So now this Congressional Black Caucus and the NAACP, they're trying to tell them to drop their financial leverage and sacrifice their personal economy for a partisan map dispute. That's really, they're trying to help the damn immigrants with these damn maps. They don't do nothing for us in these districts anyway. That's why the black community is like, yeah, we ain't doing that. Yeah.
That's not true. And even if they didn't do anything for black people, why would you throw the baby out with the bathwater? If you have politicians that don't do nothing for you, you know what you can do, right? Raise up your own politicians and vote for different politicians. It's that simple. It's that simple. Oh, my politicians don't do anything for me? I know, I'll just vote for different politicians that will do something for me. And then that's that.
If there's a bag in it, we're going to take that damn sports bag. The hell we're going to sacrifice for y'all black Democrats who don't do nothing for the community. I don't do nothing, just basically help you save your job. You ain't offering no multi-million-dollar fund to replace the revenue those athletes are going to use. You can't ask the youth to finance a political protest with their own future. Y'all athletes better go get your damn money. Some damn Democrat shills trying to get you to sacrifice your career for their damn job. That's what this is about. See, family, these people, they demand loyalty from us without delivering tangibles. What are y'all?
Matter of fact, here, I found it. I found it right here. Let me see. Can y'all see my screen? Am I still good? Hopefully I'm still good. Let me see. Yes. Watch this, family. I'm going to play this clip real quick.
A lawmaker has said it out loud. A lawmaker wants the court to get rid of the 14th Amendment. You know, the amendment that made black people citizens and creates equal protection under the law. It's a pretty big deal. Put them up full mass. We have a hell of a story about Alabama House Speaker Nathaniel Ledbetter.
So this is an Alabama speaker, but I thought the Mississippi speak. So if I'm not mistaken, because again, it was the Alabama. I know it was the Mississippi Speaker of the House who did this, but I guess the Alabama Speaker of the House is doing it also. So yeah, they calling for
it. Here it is.
Well, it certainly gives us an opportunity to look at those congressional districts again. It gives us a chance at all of them if we get some reprieve from the courts. And so we'll see how that goes, and certainly hope that the Supreme Court will overturn Amendment 14 and gives us a shot to revisit those. So I think that's happened. You know, all we need now is the courts to overturn 14, and we can look at a new election.
I didn't even know it was up for debate.
I knew it was up for debate because, again, ever since the Reconstruction Amendments were passed, people have been arguing in the Deep South that they were not properly ratified, so they should be done away with. They have never given up that issue. This is something I was even saying in 2015, and people was looking at me like I was crazy. Like they wouldn't go that far. And I'm like, yes, they would. That's the reason they supporting somebody like Trump, because Trump is not an establishment Republican. He would go that far. He would open the door for them to go that far, even if he wouldn't personally go that far. I said this to people. I said this. But nobody listened. Everybody think they smart and all this other nonsense. Now what? Because again, also Trump is already opening the door for the attack on the 14th Amendment. And every time you point that out, people will be like, he's only talking about immigrants who walked across the border and stuff like that. This ain't got nothing to do with us. What you mean ain't got nothing to do with us? What you mean it ain't got nothing to do with us? It got everything to do with us. Everything. An attack on the 14th Amendment in part or in whole is an attack against black people, period. I don't care what they talking about. 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. This is what we dealing with right now. And this dude talking about symbolism and the bag. You out of your mind. But yeah, let's finish up with this bozo.
Y'all thinking, Democrats? This is why you're losing. Black Americans, we're waking up to that one-way street of legacy politics, man. These organizations, they expect absolute loyalty from us and sacrifice from us whenever one of their damn political seats get threatened. But when we say we need some tangibles, we get every excuse in the world. Y'all roll Roland Martin's butterball ass up out here to tell us why we can't get shit. Y'all want us to sacrifice everything, but when we say, hey, man, we got to get let's get some priority with jobs, man. Let's get some reparations. Let's get a crime bill. Let's get some kind of tangible resources for our businesses. Then all of a sudden, y'all push Roland out. Y'all stupid fools. What you asking for? How you gonna answer that? Did you form a plebiscite? Did you call the Congressional Black Caucus and talk to the
Exactly, because you are stupid and you are on being a plebiscite. Whatever you say, plebiscite babble. And again, you're the one sloganeering. What is tangible? So you ask these bozos what is tangibles, you're going to get like 20 different answers that conflict with each other. Like he's just saying stuff. A black hate crime bill? What is that? What does that entail?
front desk? Did you go to the NAACP brunch? Did you form a super PAC? Did you meet up with Kamala Harris and her chief of staff?
Yes. See, this is the funny part about this. Everything he's saying that Roland Martin said is the way you get things done in politics. Did you form a super PAC? Or did y'all give Tariq millions of dollars to buy an art studio that he's renting out to white people to do day spas in, that he's ultimately going to sell when urban renewal hit that area? And he's going to pocket all that money. Just like a pimp pastor would do. Did y'all actually go try to talk to any of these politicians? Did y'all actually put together? Remember, Tariq had a quote-unquote think tank, which people gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to, that never materialized. Why didn't he use that money to actually put forth, create a think tank? And y'all could actually write policy. Write up some policy proposals and give it to politicians. Did y'all do any of that stuff that you were supposed to do, that other people are doing to get what they want to see happen through? No, you didn't. You just mocking people for pointing that out. But you want to go with the empty, nonsensical sloganeering that Tariq is pushing. We got 50 people in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yes, Milestone, he's literally mocking Roland Martin for talking about participating in the political process. Everything he said about that Roland Martin be saying is a fact. That is the way you go about getting anything done. And he's mocking it. And he's mocking it. Yeah, Lee, I remember. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got mixed up. Because I don't know if the clip you sent me was from Mississippi, because the guy I just played is from Alabama. So it could have been a bunch of them calling for it. Because I know this was always a political project of theirs. Shout out to you for being in the building. Yes, Julius, thank you. Yeah, for pointing that out. Because I've been covering it even before 2018. I've been covering that. Like any attack against any Reconstruction Amendments is an attack against Black people. And yes, paying for those Hawaii trips. And yes, make sure y'all smash the like button. And Big Ward, you gotta go. I'm not gonna block you. I'm not even gonna put you on timeout. But yeah, you gotta stop, bro. Because again, I tried to engage with you. You made a video to me. It wasn't even really about me. And it's like, yeah. So you let me know when you really got something I can engage with. You let me know. Yes, he doesn't want to work. Nonsense. And you know what's so funny also about these bozos? They don't even understand that the majority of the Black congressional caucus that's going to be left after Republicans do what they do is going to be mainly immigrants. Because they try to claim that the congressional Black caucus is mainly immigrants. That's not true. But the immigrant population, as far as in the caucus, is going to be bigger because the caucus is going to be cut by a third. A lot of the people who are going to be left are going to be immigrants from immigrant communities, which means they're going to be the only voice for Black people. That's it. And it means the majority of the Black population, that especially the native Black American population that live in the South, is going to have no voice. That means they're going to have to rely on people like Ilhan Omar to speak for them, Yvette D. Clarke to speak for them, and others that they attack. But yeah, let's get back to this bozo. Shout out to everybody in the building. And make sure you join in the channel, family.
It's always some stupid ass hurdle that we got to go through. And we got to crash out for you. Y'all give us every obstacle and hurdle that we got to go through to get something from you. It's always, damn, we would, but the Republicans stop us. We was going to do it, but what you going to do? The Republicans going to come in and make it. We got to get the, do we have the House? Do we have the Senate? It's a goddamn excuses all the time. Y'all got more excuses than a damn baby daddy. Y'all horrible with them damn excuses. Damn, enough of that. Y'all don't have excuses for all these other groups. You got to, all the excuses for us, all these non-citizens come over here and there's a whole plethora of damn money and resources for them. The hell out of here. Listen, protecting these politicians' jobs, we ain't doing that. You got to protect the lineage. Yeah, this is not about empowering the grassroots. This is a move to protect their congressional seats that's been affected by those maps. They want to use these young Black athletes as political pawns. They want to weaponize our cultural power to secure their own jobs. The community sees right through that garbage. Yeah, we see right through it. And then they want to shift the burden on the Black youths. Why does the burden of structural change always fall on the back of young Black men?
Who else is supposed to fall on? Who else is supposed to fall on? See, this is whole shit. This is whole shit. So people are saying, hey, the Black men need to step up and defend the community and sacrifice for the community and fight for the community. This is the Tariq saying, well, why Black men got to always fight? And then this sounds like feminism talk to me. That's why I don't respect none of y'all bozos too. Y'all situational patriarchs. Y'all want to be patriarchs when it's time to tell people what to do and get all the benefit. But when it's time to actually do some patriarchal stuff, like, you know, be a leader, like protect the community, it's now why Black men gotta do. Why Black men gotta do. Why we gotta do anything. Nonsense. Always with the nonsense. Like whose job it is to protect the community. Exactly. Protect the lineage. Isn't protecting the community protecting the lineage? Isn't protecting our political power protecting the lineage? What kind of games are you playing here? Like, what kind of, like, this is ridiculous. This is exactly why I can't stand back and watch this no more. This is why I started the BYB. I had to do it because it's like, again, I'm no disrespect to the Congressional Black Caucus and the NAACP, because I know they got to shoot for the moon. We in a bad spot. So yeah, they doing what they supposed to do. But again, I don't believe stuff like calling for this type of boycott is going to work. But I respect it. Again, you got to shoot for that moon. We in a bad spot. And I can't allow people like this to keep hogging the spotlight where they like putting out all this garbage and misleading people. Yes, they're never gonna go ask Trump for no reparations. They even completely ignoring the fact that Trump said they shouldn't even get reparations. Remember the bozo, the no white authority, when he was like, oh, when he made a bigger deal about them not talking about Israel saying they should, black people shouldn't get reparations in America. He made a big deal about that, but kindly forgot to make a big deal about Trump saying that black people shouldn't get reparations in America. He forgot to make a big deal about that. He forgot. But yeah, let's get back to this.
The ones y'all do least amount of things for. For 4 years, y'all shit on black men, and then when November voting season come around, how come y'all dumbass black men ain't in front of the line voting? Y'all shitted on us for 4 years. Y'all told us that the black woman was the backbone of the community. Y'all told us that the black LGBT are the real riders, and
y'all showing it. Y'all showing it. Anybody who made those type of statements are being proven correct right now. They are being proven correct. They are being proven correct. That's shameful. I'm gonna say that it's shameful, but it's a fact. They are being proven correct. And like I said before, if black men, because again, I'm talking about us as a collective, even though I know the majority of black men did what they were supposed to. But at the end of the day is over. We are a group. We win as a group, we lose as a group. If black men didn't do what they were supposed to do, you know who's going to have to get us out of this situation? Black women, black immigrants, the black boule, the black LGBTQ, all the groups that y'all type, Tariq, your type cries about in the black community, those you just empowered those groups, and they're going to be the ones on the front lines fighting, and they're going to be the ones who ultimately help get us out of this situation. That's another reason why I started the BYB, because it's like, no, it can't go like that. It can't go like that. That's not going to be the end of our chapter. No. Where it's going to be, where people are going to write the history like, yeah, black people went back into Jim Crow 2.0 and they got out of it, but they got out of it because, you know, no thanks to the black man, but thanks to the black woman, the black LGBTQ, the black boule, the black immigrants, but the native black American man, nah, he was on whole shit. So yeah, no thanks to him. That ain't gonna be our story. That's out.
We're homophobic and we're transphobic and we just gotta pop pussy. I don't know what y'all do. We just get shitted on all the time, but we're expected to do the damn heavy lifting. I don't know how y'all think that's gonna work. Y'all shit on us.
Exactly. Like, this is not manhood. Everything he's saying and everything he's doing, there's no manhood here. There's no manhood in nothing he's talking about. Just performative whole shit. Like Tariq, you sure you not a feminist? Because again, a part of being a man is being a leader, right? A part of being a man is about protecting yours from the family, the community. It's about protecting, right? It's about providing. All this shit you talking ain't meeting the criteria of none of that. None of that. Ain't meeting the criteria of none of that. Did you? I don't know nothing about that, about a lady using showing that, but that ain't gonna work. They know who that money is for. If you think any black people getting any money from that fund, even the black people who got it, who was a part of January 6th, probably they not even gonna get no money out of that. But regular black people trying to use that fund to get money, talking about we was hurt or we was aggrieved, I don't see it. I don't see it. I heard people trying to float that when Trump first announced this, when he first won the presidency back in 2024, but that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Thank you for the fire emojis, visionary. Salute to everybody in the building. Yes, red pill has done a lot of damage. This fake red pill, I'm gonna say fake red pill because remember, this is a bastardization. Remember the red pill, the original red pill made sense. It was good, just like incel. The original incels, they was not bad people. The involuntarily celibate crowd, they was not bad people. They was not bad people. Oh, you getting banned. But yeah, they were not bad people. They were not bad people. It's these bozos who perverted the whole ideology. A lot of them, again, is like crypto feminists and a part of the LGBT community, bro. They teaching people, they promoting homosexuality. Indirectly, directly promoting homosexuality. They teach you to hate women, attack women, shit on women all day long, but treat other men like they women. Or go your own way. Like I said before when I first heard about MGTOW, go your own way. So you got a bunch of men going their own way. Where y'all going? And what y'all gonna do when y'all get there? Like, come on. Like I just saw a video today from somebody pushing that bozo attack women stuff. Like it was disgusting. Yes, because the original incels was basically like, because remember, incel stand for what? Involuntarily celibate. These was just guys who wanted to have sex, who wanted to get women, but didn't know how to. So they was reaching out for help. This is nothing new. Because when I was growing up, like the majority of every month you had like a movie or a TV show or an episode on a TV show about a dude who was like kind of goofy, a late bloomer, a lame or a nerd who couldn't get no women, and then he got a makeover, and then they would help him get women. Matter of fact, speaking of that, that's what Tariq used to do. That's how he first went mainstream with the Mac lessons and all that other stuff. Tariq used to go to dudes who couldn't get no chicks and try to give them game and teach them how to dress and improve themselves to get chicks, to get women, to try to get quote unquote laid. Not quote unquote laid, but laid. That's what Tariq used to do. That's what the incel thing was when it first started. It was that, but just online. And then people turned it into this weirdo, we hate women, we're misogynists, it's cool to be a misogynist type nonsense. That's what they did. But yeah. Like, yeah, but let's get back to this. Let's let this bozo finish up.
4 years, every 4 years, y'all go through a cycle of crapping on us, and then wonder why we ain't running to save you when the block gets hot. And your excuses, well, the Republicans, they gonna get you. You get me. Shit. You can't keep blaming the damn Republicans. You get me right now, nigga. Damn, y'all undermining us in everything we do. Yeah? Do we have Democrat shills in here? Hey, Democrat shills, tell the people at the DNC this campaign ain't working. It's not working for a reason. Y'all can't talk to people like they're stupid no more. Yeah? You're not going to put the burden on black males, especially black male youths. Man,
the problem with the Democratic establishment. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say Democratic establishment. I'm gonna say the black people who talk to other black people who are part of the Democratic Party and talk to black people like you, Tariq, and your following is the fact that they didn't talk to you guys like you were stupid. They talked to you like some sense. Like when you were mocking Roland Martin when he was telling y'all how to be politically engaged. That's the problem. He was talking to y'all like y'all had some sense. Y'all don't got no sense. Y'all stupid. Y'all a bunch of stupid little dumb niggas who effectively stopped learning in the 3rd grade and didn't make it out the 9th grade. And the fact people were talking to y'all like y'all had some sense, like y'all was intelligent, well-adjusted black men, that was the problem. That was the problem. That was the problem.
And you're not asking these multi-billion-dollar corporate sponsors, these television networks, these political elites who draw these maps, these legacy groups, they're targeting the one area where black youths have secured visible upward mobility.
Because this is the only place of leverage where people have to attack from. And maybe, just maybe, they would think that maybe the black athletes would be like the black athletes of before. Remember, Muhammad Ali went to jail and lost all his belts and a big bag because he refused to go to Vietnam. And the reason why they wanted him to go to Vietnam so badly and they were so mad about him because his outspokenness for black people. Like how many entertainers sacrificed for the black cause? How much money did Cindy Poitier sacrifice? How much opportunities did Harry Belafonte sacrifice? CC Tyson, the list goes on. Maybe, just maybe, because like you said, these are civil rights organizations. They're expecting the black youth, the black entertainer to be militant and be principled like they were back in the days. But hey.
You see? They're not there. Y'all kids and don't let these folks fool you. Get your money. Get your damn money. They want you broke and down bad so they can get a bag. Don't you sacrifice your damn future. If you got talent and these people are trying to recruit you, go get the bag, kids. I'm telling you, Uncle Tariq is telling you to get the bag. Damn these Boule Sambos. They wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. Y'all not going to just neglect the community and then demand everybody to drop everything and then sacrifice for you idiots. And all you do is disrespect us. Man. But the thing is, man, our ancestors, man, we are the foundational population of this land. We built the infrastructure. We established the cultural and physical capital of the American South and the country by extension. And these flagship universities, they sit on the foundation of that building and engineering labor. So asking our athletes to walk away and boycott, that's like a strategy of retreat.
You see what he just said? So black labor built these institutions, built these universities. They done got rich all black people and all of that stuff. But asking black athletes to stand up for black political power is a strategy of retreat. You sound stupid. Those institutions are supposed to be standing up for black people because black people built them. Think of all those universities throughout the South. These was bumfuck nowhere universities until all these black athletes went there and put all that money into them. They supposed to be standing with the black community. They supposed to be putting the pressure on these legislators like, hey, y'all can't do that. They the ones who supposed to be doing that for the community. You ain't putting no pressure on them talking about, oh, we built them. Yeah, we built them, and now what? They ain't doing nothing for us.
We shouldn't abandon these institutions. We should extract maximum economic value and ownership from these systems that our lineage built. You understand? See, that's why there's a disconnection between the legacy elites and the grassroots. There's a massive disconnection. You see, you have legacy groups out here. They're doing press conferences telling people what to do. And they're not even consulting the athletes. They're not consulting their families. They're not consulting the community. that outdated ass top-down leadership model that assumes this blind compliance, that ain't it. We got modern foundational thinkers out here who's thinking analytically, they're focused, they're thinking about group economics.
How are you thinking about group economics where you giving the enemy all the power over us? You do realize everything that Black people have been doing for self is being dismantled as we speak, with lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. So how is anybody, and who's going to be able to stop that? If we have no political power, how are we going to push back against that if we have no political power?
And they're not going to be commanded by these organizations that put on some.
I'm sick of this dude doing saying we too. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this.
Symbolic nostalgia instead of these strategic executions that they do for everybody else. We're not going for the nonsense. See, these Democrats, man, they know they're losing their seats. They want the Black community to bail them out. They're going to keep making these empty threats of a partisan boogeyman. Their whole thing is fear-based marketing. They think they show up during election cycles, point at the other side, and they think the community is going to fall in line out of panic. Listen, the sky's falling. Listen, the Republicans, boy, they got a idea 2025. Ooh, you better go vote. Oh, listen, immigration, Trump and them coming for immigration. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to get the immigrants first. Guess who next? You're going to get deported too.
Trump already said it multiple times that he has a plan to deport Black people out of America too, and strip Black people of their citizenship. We just played the Speaker of the House for Alabama talking about how they about to go use the courts to get rid of the 14th Amendment. If they do that, or they dismantle it, or they do anything with the courts with that, Black people are not citizens. You know what's going to be so funny? The only Black people who are going to still be citizens is Black immigrants. Because they actually had to come here and get their citizenship a different way. They didn't automatically get it. Even though the courts might try to make it so that nobody Black has citizenship. But if they just get rid of it regularly, or try to poke holes in it, or say, well, this was to make slaves citizens. This wasn't meant to work in perpetuity. All of you FBA bozos, none of you would be citizens, while the people who you talk down on, the Black immigrants, would still have citizenship. That's the funny part. First, they strip you of your political power. Now they got to strip y'all of your citizenship. You see how that worked? Those right after voting to remove all those Black districts, you got a bunch of Southern state politicians coming out talking about we need to sue in court to get the 14th Amendment. The only reason they didn't sue yet is because they probably just sitting back to see what the Supreme Court is going to say about Trump trying to rewrite the 14th Amendment, and they trying to figure out how are they going to word it when they do sue. That's the only thing why they didn't put it through yet. They just waiting on those two things. Watch. After the Supreme Court make their decision, I think in June, about Trump trying to rewrite the 14th Amendment, it won't be long until you see somebody with a case talking about how the 14th Amendment was not properly ratified, or needs to go, or there needs to be more reinterpretations to it. Because again, they probably just sitting back because they probably thinking, well, maybe the Supreme Court going to do that on its own. Because you know the Supreme Court can not only rule in favor of Trump, but they can go a step further and say, you know what? The 14th Amendment and the citizenship clause is not even constitutional. They could go a step further like that. Who knows? That's exactly what they're waiting for.
Ooh. Remember that? They were telling us we going to get deported, and we sitting up here like, get the fuck out my face. Get out of my damn face, fool. Did any of us get deported? No.
Oh, that's a great point. A foundation is the bottom of a house. It's the bottom. You'll never be at the top of anything being the foundation on which other people rest on top of. Like we the floor. And I don't think people give floors credit or anything like that. Like we the ground. Like, that's what you basically saying. Like, oh, we the ground which y'all step on, y'all rep on, y'all spit on, and y'all build upon, and you don't give us no credit, no nothing. No, first he's trying to rewrite it to get the literal immigrants, but they're gonna double back and try to get black people too. They're gonna try to double back and get them. That's what I played that clip of the guy from Alabama talking when they talking about coming to get the 14th Amendment all together. Because like he said, matter of fact, we have to play that clip again. We have to play that clip again. We have to play that clip again. Shout out to everybody in the building. We have to play that clip again. Here we go.
We have a hell of a story about Alabama House Speaker Nathaniel Ledbetter. Here it is.
Well, it certainly gives us an opportunity to look at those congressional districts again. Gives us a chance at all of them if we get some reprieve from courts. And so we'll see how that goes, and certainly hope that the Supreme Court will overturn Amendment 14 and gives us a shot to revisit those. So I think that's happened. All we need now is the courts to overturn 14, and we can look at a new election.
Like I said, they wait. Like I said, I knew it. They are waiting to see what the Supreme Court does with the 14th Amendment before they really go ahead. They just waiting to see what they do. Like they're not even paying attention. Like even Charlemagne the God covered this. I would play to see how he covered it, but I don't want to deal with no copyright issues. But yeah, we got to keep going. Yes, this is pure demonic. It's demonic. Demonic. And this is who these bozos gave power to. Oh, we got 67 people in the building. 6-7. But yeah, let's get back to this bozo. Hopefully he can finish up. Because this is nonsense.
We told y'all, sit down. We're not getting deported. Get your ass out of my face. Oh, no. You think they're going to deport you? Ooh.
Also, we didn't just talk about being deported. We talk about being stripped of citizenship. Not just being deported, being stripped of citizenship. Because you could still be in America and not be a citizen. But yeah, let's keep going.
Get up out of here. We're still here. None of us have been deported. They ain't about to deport us. We're the soft power of this country, ladies and gentlemen. Foundational Black Americans, we're not going to get no damn deported. We're the soft power. We run the engines of the entertainment, the sports, the fashion. Yeah.
That's what this bozo just said. They wouldn't deport us because who else gonna give them their fashion? You think somebody like Donald Trump care about fashion? You think they really care about sports like that? You think that the white guy that I just played, the Alabama Speaker of the House, care about fashion or sports or rap music? Like, for real, delusional is real, man. Delusional is real. Like Fat Joe said, delusional is real. Yes, like who is this us? Ridiculous.
All of that shit would collapse without us. We ain't going nowhere. You think they're going to let us go somewhere and make another economy wealthy? We are family. That's why we got to know our damn power.
No, they won't let you go nowhere to make nowhere else powerful. They'll just let you stay in America and rot, just like they did with Marcus Garvey, the person you attacked. The reason why most black people not in Africa right now or gone out this country or whatever the case may be is because of the United States government. Remember, the United States government has been the biggest enemies to black people wanting to leave this country. They didn't want to give us rights in this country, but they didn't want us to leave neither. They will gladly not let you leave and leave you here to rot and still feast off of you. Because guess what? if you have some rights, no rights, or all the rights, you're still going to be generating money for them.
You think they're gonna let us go somewhere? That's why they don't want us to go nowhere. Don't get this shit twisted. They don't want us to go nowhere. We go somewhere and turn up and get everybody else's shit popping. They don't want that. They do not want that. They don't want us to go out there making deals and using our charisma and ingenuity on the international stage like that. They don't want that. They know the last time that happened on a major scale, that happened with Michael Jackson. Remember, Michael Jackson went and got that deal. He went overseas. Michael's like, yeah, F them over here. F Tommy Mottola. Michael Jackson said, I'm going to go do business overseas. Went up there and got that deal with Sony. They gave him, everybody's publishing. They don't want us doing shit like that because they know that's what we're capable of. We go out there and do some international business. We're going to show you what's popping. We're going to go do oil deals, and they don't want us to do that now.
This dude is babbling. I'm about to speed you up a little bit, Tariq. You babbling. It's getting late, and you babbling.
They don't want us to do that. You know? Yeah, they don't want us. They know how we get out. So yeah, we ain't getting deported nowhere. You know? But yeah, that whole top-down nonsense, the days of these legacy organizations just getting out here telling us to blindly.
Exactly. Not only that, remember, RFK got a whole plan that's still underway about putting black people on private farms where they will have no access to the internet or anything like that. They cannot leave, and they will have to grow their own food to help them with their mental disorders.
March for them. No, there has to be a reciprocal exchange of value. If you have no track record leveraging your power to protect your lineage, when you're safe, don't expect us to compromise our economic leverage when you're in jeopardy. So yeah, we're just not doing that.
Yeah, right. Re-educate them too.
Democrat shills, they've been sitting up here neglecting us every 4-year cycle. And we're just not, you can't come around making no damn demands. You see? That fear-based nonsense, that's just not going to work. That boogeyman marketing strategy, instead of coming to the community with a ledger of accomplishments and specific deliverables, these Democrats, they do this whole fear-based thing.
Look, he got a new term. Like I told you, he got to always create new slogans. Tangibles got old, so now he got to come up with deliverables because people are hip. When you hear somebody black talking about tangibles, you know where they got that from, and you know they talking nothing. So now they got a new phrase, deliverables. It's the same hustle. I'm not Native American. I'm indigenous. I'm not indigenous. I'm Aboriginal. The same nonsense. The same group of people talking about the same nonsense. They just give themselves a new name, a new slogan.
Trump is going to get you. You're going to be picking cotton next week if you don't vote for us now. So that they keep doing that as a way to deflect from a real negotiation. They only do that with us, family. Is you better vote or the Republicans are going to get you. It's never you better vote because I'm going to bring you some. Hey, when we say, hey, okay, listen, sir, Democrat, I would like to talk to you about some policies that we would like for you to help us as a black community with. We ain't got time for that. Project.
Yep. James 1:8. Double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. But yeah, Tariq, they do come to the communities with quote unquote tangibles and deliverables. Y'all just act like they don't. Kamala Harris campaigned to black men more than anybody who ever had a nomination for a major political party in the history of the United States of America. But y'all act like she didn't campaign nothing. Y'all only focused on when people was talking about all the bad the Republicans were going to do. Which was true. Because again, like I always say, a zero is better than a negative. I'd rather live in a world where the Democrats have all the power and ain't gonna do nothing for me, but ain't gonna stop me from doing something for myself, than living in a world where the Republicans got all the power and they taking stuff from me and they will not let me do stuff for myself. Because like I said, the Republicans are you got the Republicans making a way, and them and they themselves suing in court to keep black people from having rights, from creating their own organizations, for creating their own funds, for creating their own directories. Like you got the black doctor directory being sued right now. That would never be happening if the Democrats was in office. But hey, or if Hillary Clinton, better yet, if Hillary Clinton had won, that would have never been happening. But continue.
2025 is right around the corner. We ain't got tangibles. We ain't got time for that now. This is an emergency. No, we're not doing the sky is falling no more. You see, that's an intentional tactic designed to bypass any real negotiation. They know if they keep you in a state of panic, you won't ask for a receipt for your vote. So they always want some kind of emergency. Like, listen, if you want me to vote, I'm going to need, we're as a community, we need tangible. Tangible, it's a pandemic out here right now. Oh, no, it's a pandemic. We gotta take care of this right now. You're gonna die if you don't vote now. It's always something. Oh, you better vote. Tangible, it's about to be World War III. Oh, it's about to be cracking. They're about to send some planes over here to bomb us. You gotta vote now. We ain't doing the eye bucking thing.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got 70 people in the building. Let me show this. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see. Come on. Let me make sure my audio's still good. It's still good. Let's watch this.
White physician sues Find a Black Doctor website for discrimination. Here's what's going on. According to Black Enterprise, a white doctor based in Colorado has teamed up with a conservative legal group to sue the online directory Find a Black Doctor for allegedly discriminating against physicians based on their race. That lawsuit was filed May 19th in a Manhattan federal court by dermatologist Dr. Travis Morrell and Do No Harm, an organization founded in 2022 that publicly condemns DEI. According to the complaint, Morrell, a double board certified physician and member of Do No Harm, says he applied to join the directory December 23rd, 2025. However, he did not receive a response and followed up by email months later. He was met with silence. The suit, which targets the website and its founder, claims Morrell's application was constructively rejected because he is white. Do No Harm and Dr. Morrell are entitled to relief, reads the legal complaint. The complaint accuses the directory of excluding non-Black physicians by restricting eligibility to Black physicians and dentists in active clinical practice. Suit also alleges that the online platform robs non-Black physicians of advertising exposure and promotes racial concordance. The notion that patients receive better care from doctors of the same race. Find a Black Doctor indefensively robs some physicians of valuable advertising exposure, deprives patients of the opportunity to discover capable providers without regard to race, reads a statement from a Do No Harm rep in a press release. Find a Black Doctor was founded in 2005 rather. It's been around for more than 20 years, 2005. With the intent to help reduce racial health disparities and improve access to quality health care for Black communities around the country. It was relaunched in 2019 by founder Dr. Dina Strachan, board-certified dermatologist in New York City, as a resource for individuals seeking culturally competent care from experienced, and that's the key, experienced and qualified Black physicians. 2024, the platform announced that it was expanding to include listings of board-certified health professionals in all 50 states. Why having Black doctors are important for those who don't know. Race-based physiological myths have long influenced medical practice. Even today, some doctors believe African Americans are more tolerant of pain. One study found that relative to other racial groups, physicians are twice as likely to underestimate Black patients' pain. Several years ago, researchers at the University of Virginia, including Dr. Oliver, probed the beliefs of 222 white medical students and residents, published the results in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. Half held false physiological beliefs about African Americans. Nearly 60% thought their skins were thicker. 12% thought their nerve endings were less sensitive than those of white people. Medical students and residents who endorsed false beliefs like these were more likely to rate pain of a Black patient as less severe than that of an otherwise identical white patient, less likely to recommend treating Black patients' pain. Other studies show that physicians, white ones in particular, implicitly prefer white patients, falsely viewing them as more intelligent, more likely to follow professional advice. As a consequence of that, non-white patients receive less pain treatment. There are also race-based disparities in treatment from heart disease, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, among many other illnesses. So, and these kinds of lawsuits are also being filed against medical schools. I want you to watch this.
What the Department of Justice is doing with its investigation of Yale, UCLA, Stanford, UCSD, and Ohio State's medical schools is arguably the biggest waste of taxpayer dollars happening right now. In order for you to believe that this is good use of taxpayer dollars, you would have to believe that these institutions and potentially others are discriminating against white and Asian students. This is farcical. I say this as someone who's been involved in medical school admissions at 2 different top-tier medical schools. In the conversations that I'm seeing online, I've seen people sharing, for example, data from Yale's School of Medicine showing that, for example, Black students had a slightly lower score on average on their MCAT compared to white students. We're talking about fewer than 10 points difference between Black or Hispanic students and white students. And all of these students are at the 94th percentile or higher. And people are really trying to argue that students who score at the 94th or 95th percentile are going to be less qualified or less capable to be a physician. The only way I can imagine you would be making this argument is if you know nothing about what it is to be a physician. Someone who has immense capacity for scoring well on a multiple choice test does not necessarily have the skills to communicate clearly with patients, to build relationships with patients, to have empathy, and to understand what contributes to that patient's condition aside from their biology. If you spend just a short amount of time on social media reading through people's complaints about their physicians, it's not that they were not smart. It's that the patients feel dismissed. It's that physicians aren't taking enough time to listen to patients and to take their concerns seriously. That is not something that you are going to figure out based on someone's test score. That's why we have essays and interviews. You may be thinking what this fewer than 10-point difference in average MCAT scores tells me is that there's a different bar for entry for Black and Hispanic students than there is for white and Asian students. And there you would be wrong, because again, there are other aspects to the application. These are just 2 of the elements that we look at. And what you're assuming when you say that is that there is a deficiency in the other aspects of the application for Black and Hispanic students. In fact, it is likely they have more compelling experiences and essays and are admitted with slightly lower test scores because they're actually more qualified.
Find a Black doctor.
Okay. We heard that. 2 things. Like I said, all these groups that are popping up now, ever since Trump got reelected, are now, where these white conservatives are now just suing, destroying everything. Mind you, this Black direct, find a Black doctor, that's Black people doing for self. That's doing for self, right? That's doing for self. And they are now attacking it. Because again, like I keep telling these bozos, you don't want segregation. Because what they doing is bringing back Jim Crow 2.0, which is segregation. Remember, Malcolm X taught us, segregation is a superior telling an inferior where they can and cannot go. The Nation of Islam was pushing separation. Remember, all Black people were against segregation. They were just, only difference was Well, how do we fix this? Do we do integration or separation? That was the only only disagreement. Do we separate or do we integrate? But everybody wanted segregation gone because this is segregation. We like they just spelled it out for you. We got all this racism in the medical with white doctors against black people. So black people say, you know what? We're gonna do for self. We're gonna become our own doctors, and we're gonna and help connect the community to black doctors. Now they suing the same white doctors who don't give a damn about you and will let you die when they could have saved you is now complaining that they're being this quote unquote discriminated against. Also, as you heard what she said, Trump's Justice Department is going after schools that are admitting black students who are totally qualified and even overqualified and more qualified than those white students. Going after them, going after these schools for admitting black people. So guess what? If schools are going to be attacked by the federal government because they're admitting black students to become black doctors, that means what we have? Less black doctors. Less black doctors. And if we got white people suing directories and websites that help black people connect with black doctors, how do we do for ourselves at that point? How do we do for self at that point? This is what we were talking about. If the Democrats never did anything for black people, we didn't have to worry about them doing this. This is all being made possible because Donald Trump is president. He became president twice. Who is this? What you said? They have no 2-hour live stream. You're a bozo, and we don't got time for this right now. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna ban you outright. We're not playing right now. I saw somebody else too. This person, yeah, I'm just banning you outright. This is serious. This is too serious of a topic. We watch it because I'm somebody who had my daughter's life saved because we had a black doctor. We brought her to doctor after doctor. They act like they didn't know what was going on. They couldn't help us. Whatever the case may be, it was a black doctor who took the time, who helped my daughter get the care she needed, and she's alive right now. Like I literally went gray. Like I started growing gray hair from the stress, not knowing if my daughter gonna live. And she's alive right now, enjoying her life because a black doctor took the time. This is not a joke. This is not a game. Like I did this show before when I showed about we lost like almost 1 million black people died because they didn't receive the quality of care that they would have got if they was white. Died. Almost 1 million black people. And that's just the ones they could prove. How many black people died that they can't prove that it was race, but race played a role in it? Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can find that video right now. Like, yeah, because this is a week since we gonna talk about it. We're gonna go all the way. We're gonna go all the way. Let me see. Let's see if I can find that video. Or a piece of it. Like if I can't find the whole thing, I can find at least a piece of it. Nope. I think I went too far down. Nope, I went too far up. Dang. This is crazy. Here it is. I think this is it right here.
The left wanted to help them to reach. This is an attack on the principle of lineage-based reparations. That's what this is. Someone's trying to get out in front of it, and this is what this effort looks like.
Exactly. It is an attack on lineage-based reparations, and it's your fault, you dummies. I told you that was going to happen. Well, that's not it. Matter of fact, let me see. I think it's the video. Matter of fact, I think it's the video I did against RFK. It might be that one. Let me see. Shout out to everybody in the building. Like, I didn't plan to do this, but, we gonna be complete. Where's RFK? Where's RFK? I can't find it. But you know, I'm not capping when I said that. I'm not capping. But yeah, I'm really pissed off right now. We're gonna let this bozo Tariq finish, and then we're gonna just get off this so we can move on to another topic. Because this is too much. This is too much. Shout out to everybody in the building. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah, they like to exploit genuine historic trauma of the foundational population who built this country by having Jim Crow messaging, and they frame that in your mind all the time. They run down there to Selma, go down to the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They want to trigger an emotional response instead of an analytical response.
Thank you, Purcell.
Because they know that we respect our ancestors down there. That's not going to work because now you're being manipulative. Again, my family is from all over Alabama. Yeah, those are my ancestors. They speak to me. They told me y'all can go to hell. All right. They told me they don't want y'all down there trying to exploit them. I'm a direct descendant of those Alabama folks, especially out there in the Lowndes County, Selma area. Those are my direct people. They told me y'all can eat a dick and get the hell on up out of there. They need y'all to give us some tangibles. That's what we need. We are going to have to get tangibles, ladies and gentlemen. You see, and that whole thing when they got us in a perpetual state of emergency, they frame every cycle as the most important election of our lifetime. Oh, it's an existential threat to democracy. Oh, you're fighting for your life. Oh, you got to drop everything.
Because it is an existential threat. It always gets worse. Like Nixon, we had Nixon, right? Reagan was worse than Nixon. I would say Bush too. I mean, Trump, I'm gonna say definitely Trump is worse than Reagan. Yeah, it's like a cartoon or anime. The villains are getting worse as time progresses, like in Dragon Ball Z. The Saiyans, Frieza was worse than the Saiyans. Cell was worse than Frieza. Boo was worse than Cell. The enemies keep getting worse, which means we got to put in more work to protect ourselves. The enemies are not getting weaker, they're getting stronger. They're getting stronger. That's why every election becomes more important than the last one, because more is at stake.
Man, please. That's used to silence us. All right? That's used to silence us.
Exactly. I'm about to just get off of this bozo because that's enough. But this is a great point to leave it on. The neo-Confederates don't get tired. That's what's so funny about this. A lot of y'all bozos who listen to Tariq, y'all got tired. Y'all got weak in the struggle. The Confederacy been fighting us for 100. These neo-Confederates have been fighting us for 160 years. 160 years, and they never got tired. They never got tired. Y'all got tired. Y'all got weak. Y'all got weak. Y'all got weak. And you promoting for us to still get even weaker while they trying to get stronger. Y'all got tired. Y'all got weak, bro. The neo-Confederates, they never stopped fighting. They fought battles that they knew they couldn't win. And they still fought them anyway, because they was going to hit the battlefield every time. They hit the battlefield every time. They competed on every battlefield. Even when they knew they was going to get slaughtered, they competed. And now they are here because they didn't stop fighting. This is disgusting. I got to get off this. Oh yeah, shout out to you, Julius. Yeah, I was a big fan of anime before too. I was, but I don't really watch anime no more. But yeah, I'm getting off this. You got to get off this. Yeah, social media done might have killed the community. But yeah, we got to get off this. We're gonna get off this. Now we got to go to another bozo, the No Black Authority, the woman beater. This guy, he's talking about the Democratic autopsy. So let's see what he got to say about this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Channel. No one wanted to admit it, and now no one has a choice. The long-delayed Democrat 2024 autopsy, as I covered before, has been partially released. And boy, oh boy, so much of it confirms everything that you all have heard from us here for years. It also confirms everything that I predicted beforehand. We're going to be going over this rather meticulously here tonight. Although I don't think I can do it justice to do that unless we first check in with the old black media first. Before we go over the griot and everything they had to say there, I want to go to the old black media first. And that brings us to Rolling the Bowling Ball. Because, of course, you're not going to have a skewed, ridiculous take of it unless you call on him first. And he's going to go exactly where I've always told you all that he's going to go. You all can just guess what he's going to tell you is the real problem.
Folks, this is the same bozo who swear up and down he don't talk about Roland Martin.
Democrat National Committee Chair Ken Martin faced tons of pressure to release the autopsy of the 2024 election. He initially said he wasn't going to do it, but they kept saying you must do so. So he did. The 192-page report outlines various issues that plagued the Democratic Party during the last presidential election. Some of the problems include messaging that created tensions with key constituencies regarding the economy, delays in organizing voters on the ground, and lack of alignment between the party's primary super PAC and then Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign. President Joe Biden and his political team, they were not spared. It also showed the massive amount of money that white Democratic strategists keep getting, and not a lot of black folks on that list. Ashley Etienne, former communication director of Vice President Kamala Harris, and Speaker Nancy Pelosi joins us right now in the studio. Glad to have you here. We talked about this here. You said that it needs to be released. And so what do you make of what they dropped?
Well, I think it's a complete failure of leadership on the part of Ken Martin. He had a choice. Instead of releasing a full.
The reason they keep attacking Roland Martin is because Roland Martin actually engages with them, and he's smart and he makes sense. Like, think about it. We just watched Tariq mock Roland Martin, and everything he was mocking Roland Martin about was right and exact.
Forward-looking document that laid out a strategy to.
Make sure y'all supporting the stream any way y'all can. PayPal, Cash App, Super Thanks, Super Chat, Jules, everything good. Thumbs up, fire emojis, hype points, share the stream. Make sure y'all supporting.
Address the bleeding support among black voters, the growing trust gap among black voters that we're seeing. To your point, you talked about the survey there. Instead, what he did was he released a report that was half-baked, that he critiqued. And he did it in order to save his ass rather than to actually lay out a vision for this party move.
Damn! Oh, Miss Etienne, why don't you tell them what you really think? So yes, indeed, here Redbone is coming in hot.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to make it through this, dude. We're gonna have to watch somebody else's commentary. I'm not doing that with the sound effects. Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, she doesn't sound anything like Roland Martin. So Redbone is coming in hot. Miss Etienne is coming in here and throwing bolos. So I don't know where she was before the election. I don't know where this was then, but so far I haven't heard anything that I disagree with yet here.
Moving into the 2026 and the 2028 election to address some of the biggest, what I like to call the three alarm fire that we're seeing within the Democratic Party that's not being talked about again, which is that we're dealing with an identity crisis. We're bleeding support among our base voters, and we're not innovating in a way that sufficiently engages and mobilizes our key constituencies. That's why it's a failure, because Ken Martin made this whole report about Ken Martin. Meanwhile, democracy is failing. Meanwhile, black people are suffering the burdens of the failure of this particular party. 600,000 black women are out of a job, 8.5% unemployment, 400 years of black progress undermined in the last 2 weeks with the gutting of the VRA. He owes us an explanation as to how the money was spent.
600,000 black women, also 800,000 black men.
Absolutely.
Both those numbers are up. So
okay, thank you. Because Miss Etienne, you want to hear about identity crisis? That's a problem when you do that kind of garbage. And it took Rolling the Bowling Ball to check you on that. What you just did right there, ma'am, that's the problem. So you've gone from articulating the problem to...
You said Roland came at Tariq first? Nah, that's a negative. Tariq was talking the nonsense and attacking people, and Roland checked him. That's what happened. Tariq and them been attacking Roland Martin. They've been attacking black people who operate in the mainstream, who are pro-Democrat. Just that is Roland who was the only one who actually responded to them. They've been attacking Joy Reid for how long? Like they've been attacking all these people. Roland just the one who actually engages with them and will make it plain and call them stupid and dumb. That's why I like Roland Martin, because he'll definitely let y'all know that y'all stupid and dumb. And somebody got to let y'all know that y'all stupid and dumb. I'm not talking about you, Palmer. I'm not calling you stupid and dumb. I'm talking about, you know, the FBA bozos. I'm not talking about you.
To being a part of the problem just that quickly. I know working around Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris, you all think that, you know, the world is just for ovarians. But by the way, you just betrayed right there exactly what the damn problem is. So I don't know. Maybe you and Ken Martin can both go to the same therapy session to figure out exactly what's really going on. That was a super bad look. You know, like I said, you were doing all right, and then it's like you get there, it's like, okay.
No, they was mad because Joy Reid did that when she went on her show and talked about how tangibles and FBA and stuff like that is like a part of a disinfo campaign. So she did say something about them, but again, they was attacking her before she ever did that. But as far as the back and forth, nah, she ain't doing the back and forth. Like Roland will go a little back and forth with them, but she not. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you're hitting the like button. We got 70 people in here. Come on, man. Stop with the sound effects.
Car crash. Typical Democrat feminist garbage. She's not concerned about black people. Just, I need all the black folk to get together for the women. Really? Okay.
The money was spent.
There's 600,000 black women, also 800,000 black men.
Absolutely.
Both those numbers are up, so we can't ignore that. But here's the deal here, and this is what also jumps out. What you just laid out, true. But what you also have seen, though, are Democrats that have been winning elections all across the country.
Sure.
So the problem is the positioning as if the party's on fire, but when you look at these individual races, they've been winning.
Sure.
And I think this is where the disconnect is. There's a difference between national party. There's a difference between national party. When you start talking about presidential, Senate, and House, and then we start talking about local races, mayoral races, state races, where Democrats have been winning. And so those candidates have been crafting their own messaging, doing things their own way. So you got to explain,
I'm going to explain
how Democrats have been winning seats, picking up seats that Trump won.
Sure.
But then what is being said nationally? That's two different stories being told.
Absolutely. And so if you read the report, sort of, if you read between the lines of the report, what it says is that we have been winning elections despite the strength of the Democratic Party, despite the strength of its message, despite the strength of its infrastructure, that really what we're seeing is Republicans are losing elections. We're not winning elections. The Democratic Party now is polling at 28%. The lack of confidence within the Democratic Party is striking.
But hold on. I got to stop you there,
but
because
let me
this
make
is the
one more
problem.
point, though, Roland.
That's national.
Okay, but let me make
one
one point.
So the polling is really how they feel about Schumer and
Sure.
Jeffries.
Okay, y'all, if Roland don't sit down looking like a Tim Horton sign, what? Shut up and let Redbone talk for a little bit there. She might be able to dig herself out of this credibility gap she just made, but Roland just wants to keep talk about a nigga with nothing to say, and yet he insists on filibustering.
And not local.
So when I talk about the black community suffering the burdens of the failure of this party, it's national. What we're seeing right now, the 600, 800,000, 8.5% unemployment, VRA, that's a national issue.
Right.
So it still matters nationally. The other reason why
Okay, Roland, your lavalier mics are going out bad. You need to have somebody go over there and go plug her cable back in while you sitting up talking. You need to go ahead and take care of that.
why it matters is your viewers have to understand that this is a business. Okay, it's an $8 billion business annually, and Black folks get less than 1% of that money.
Yes.
So we're not investing in building Black political power, which is why you're seeing the bleeding of Black support, which is why Black men are voting for an all-out races in double-digit numbers. We're also not innovating. We're not making investments in Black media. We're not making investments in Black influencers and Black consulting firms. We're not making those types of investments that would equal out to better electoral outcomes for Black people.
Huh. Well, you know, Miss Etienne may have a point there. We're talking about influencers.
Wouldn't that make them Democratic shills? Wouldn't y'all call them Democratic shills? If the Democratic Party started pumping money into the community the way she just said, wouldn't you call everybody who got one of those checks a Democratic shill? Inquiring minds want to know. Wouldn't you do that?
Because over here in the new Black media, the Democrat Party has declared war on us. The Democrat Party has not come to us with hat in hand the way that Donald Trump did to Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, all those other folk over there. So the Democrat Party.
Wouldn't that make y'all Democratic shills? If they came to y'all like that, wouldn't that make y'all Democratic shills? Because if they came to other people like that who are outside of this so-called new Black media, you would call them Democratic shills. See, you see the game? So if the Democrats give other people money and come on their platforms and let them say whatever they want to say and agree with them like Trump did with those other influencers, they would be Democratic shills. But if they came on your platform and did that, then they wouldn't be Democratic. Then you wouldn't be a Democratic shill. Like, it's just gobbledygook. It's all over the place. This is nonsense. We got to cover something more intelligent than this.
He has declared war on the new Black media social influencers. They have not been apathetic. They have not been neutral. They have been openly hostile. They send out their little gutless tether shills on social media, on Twitter and everywhere else to attack us.
Look, shills, people who are getting paid, you're saying they're sending their shills out, people getting paid to attack you. So if they gave you money and told you to attack the Republicans, would that make you not a shill by your own definition of a shill?
They're AstroTurf activists, these bought and paid for people. That's what they've been spending their money. Those are the influencers they
Exactly. Chicken butt mouth. All these dudes got chicken butt mouth. You don't know what's going to come out their mouth when they open their mouth. Shout out to the Mad Head Doctor. I got to keep giving them a shout out for that. Chicken butt mouth. For all you don't know, because we probably got some new people in the building. A chicken only got one hole. It pees out that hole. It poops out that hole. It lays eggs out that hole. So every time a chicken squat down, you never know what's going to come out that hole. And that's these bozos. You never know what's going to come out their mouth. So now accepting Democratic money is actually good. And now you're mad that the Democratic Party didn't cut you a check, even though you attacked other people that the Democratic Party was cutting checks to, calling them shills and accusing other people who are pro-Democrats of being shills. And you said the Democratic Party was bad for cutting those checks. Now, magically, those checks would be good if they was going to you.
spent their money on. Remember, we covered all this back in 2024, remember? They got together a whole bunch of weirdos on YouTube wearing fluorescent colored clothes. What? Remember, those were the influencers that they wanted. A bunch of people dressed like neon signs. Looking like they just came from a college feminist reading group. Those were the, quote, influencers that the Democrats, quote, invested in. So, Miss Etienne, they did spend money. I got proof of that. They did spend money. And they spent it on YouTube and they spent it online. But when you take a look at what the hell it was a damn sideshow. So it wasn't that they didn't spend anything, they did. Don't worry, we'll get to Roland and what they spent on him here in just a moment, because he's going to start explaining and trying to defend himself.
So wherein we might be winning locally, we're failing nationally, which is having the biggest impact on Black
Right,
people.
and but this is the whole point.
And so we have to focus on that.
I understand that.
We should never let the party
No.
off the hook.
I'm not letting off the hook.
Yeah.
But here's how I see when we look at these things.
Sure.
There's a difference between what regular and ordinary people are saying, doing out there, and then what's being said in DC and New York.
Absolutely.
It's a totally different deal.
Absolutely.
And so anytime I see those polls, anytime I see the dude on CNN, he's like, oh my God, look at Democratic polling numbers. And then you go, but they won this mayoral race. They won this county commissioner race. They won this state race. They won this state race. And so what I think is happening is, look, every time I talk to Nikki Fried, her whole deal is, okay, whatever y'all doing in DC, go right ahead.
Sure.
We're going to execute a different strategy here. And I think what you've seen are folks say, we're not getting the leadership that we think are deserving from national, so we're going to run this the way we think we should run it.
Well, I'll be damned, Roland. Well, then why are you on our backs complaining at us if that's the situation right there? If we said, you know what, hey, we're not going to vote blue no matter who, and we're going to vote for the couch and only vote for candidates who are actually moving forward and progressing our issues, well, then to hell with the White House then. Now, all of a sudden, Roland is saying that's a great idea. Well, he's only been condemning us now.
That's not what you guys were saying. Like, you're a liar. You're a liar. So now you guys were saying the hell with the Democratic Party, and you were no, the fact, you trying to say that you guys were advocating for voting locally? No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Every election, you guys are attacking the Democrats in. And what election locally or at the state level that you were advocating for the Democrats? At which one? You're a liar. You're a total liar. You're a total fraud. Like, this doesn't even make, I don't even know how he could get away with this. Now he's claiming Roland Martin is, quote, is using their talking points. There are adults watching this.
For a decade. And
now he's been saying this for a decade. When, mind you, we can go back a decade ago and you were sitting around talking about how politics don't matter. And Asians don't vote. You was running around with Boyce Watkins talking this black empowerment as a religion. That nonsense that y'all got from Charles Wu. You were doing that a decade ago.
Remember, he doesn't get money from the local guys running for mayor. What? So there's the part I want y'all to understand. The reason why he's talking out of both sides of his forked tongue is because, well, he's talking about a mayor's race here and a county commission seat there.
Exactly. They was talking about teaching the Democrats election. They was talking about making the Democrats lose across the board. They wasn't talking about, all right, we not worrying about the presidency. Well, we worrying about this mayor or this county commissioner or this governor's race. That's total cap. It might be. Because they don't need him no more.
Yeah, but those folk ain't putting no money in his pocket, so he's not really stomping for their interest for Kamala Harris. Oh, that's going to be do or die. Well, yeah, because she dropped the bag for him. So right now he's literally arguing against himself.
Hold on. So what should be happening, national Democrats should be, I believe, listening more to what is working in different places.
I'm tired of him filibustering.
It says, the mistake that I keep seeing, if we talk about narrative, they are allowing national media to craft the narrative that Mamdani is the future of the party. And I go, well, he won in New York, but the brother won in Cleveland.
Sure.
The brother won in Georgia. The brother won in Birmingham.
Wow,
so there were other mayors who were elected beyond him. But
is he comparing New York City to Birmingham? I'm asking for a friend.
National media, cable news shows.
The reason he's doing that because, again, the Democratic Party is like a civil war in the Democratic Party right now, a big one, and they're trying to make the class reductionist lefty the new face of the party. That's why they bigging up Mondani like that. It's not just because of where Mondani won at. Mondani could have won in Cleveland, and they would have still been people like, see, we got Mondani is the face of the party now. Like, there's a whole civil war going on right now. Again, because y'all keep talking about the Democrats like they some monolith. And the side that Roland Martin is pushing back against, that's the anti-black side. That's the, oh, identity politics are bad. We need to do away with that. That's the, oh, we need to do class reductionism. Oh, that's the, that's the Bernie Sanders. That's the Bernie Bros people.
And broadcast craft this whole thing as if, oh, it's all Mamdani. And I'm like, but it's not. And they're like, yeah, but he's the mayor of New York City. I'm like, yeah, but the mayor of Atlanta counts. The mayor of Cleveland counts. The mayor of Birmingham counts. And so I think what we are seeing are grassroots people saying, you know what? We can't wait on y'all anymore.
Absolutely.
The mayor of Atlanta is not grassroots. The mayor of Birmingham, maybe. The mayor of Cleveland is not grassroots. Those are hardcore, staunch Democrat operatives. Roland Martin isn't even a good liar. He's not even a good liar.
So I don't even know what kind of point you're trying to make. Yeah, keep going.
Now, I'm not expecting Miss Etienne to check him on that, but he's not even a good liar in what he's saying right now.
We got to do our own thing. And that's what I think, what I see happening.
Okay, so can I just say this? Because, I've been doing this for 25 years. What we're seeing as it relates to Black people.
Why they all come out looking like Valerie Jarrett? I mean, they kind of all go the same place there. So it's just, I'm not dissing anything. I'm just saying, well, wherever they're going to go get their light skins from, they all got the same haircut and it's just something like that.
And investments in Black people is the same issues on the ground as we're seeing at the national level.
Oh, yeah.
A disinvestment in taking Black voters for granted.
Well, you see it right here. This is the numbers. Pull a graphic on my iPad. We see it right here.
Roland, be careful with that iPad. Yeah, Roland trying to bring up the iPad. Oh, wait a minute now. Parental discretion is advised. You don't know what might pop up on the iPad. So, hey, Roland, you got a lady in the house. You have a lady in the house, Roland. So check that iPad before you just go jumping up, blowing things up on the Jumbotron. So I'm just letting y'all know I'm freezing it for a moment for us to wait. Parental discretion is advised. Before we go to his iPad, parental discretion is advised.
The racial gap, the racial voting gap, is at its widest in 30 years.
Absolutely.
So anybody looking at this chart, and I've shown this numerous times, and you see it right here, right there, you see black or white voters, blue or black voters. And you see right there in 2008, 2012, in 2012, black voters voted at a higher rate than white voters. But then when you look at 16, 20, and 24, you see how it drops in 16?
Yes.
A steep drop. It goes back up in 20. That was largely because of COVID and the expansion of how people access the ballot.
All right. When you take a look at this chart here, folks, what do you see? From 1996, you see that bump in 92. So who was president? Bill Clinton, the so-called first black president. He's sitting on Arsenio Hall playing the saxophone. For those of you who were not there, not old enough or whatever, it was a bellwether moment, can't lie. But Bill Clinton, 1992, and then you see this thing keeps going straight up through Barack Obama, and then it peaks when? The 720 degrees of analysis that Roland Martin will never present to you, because at that point right there, you will start turning on the Democrats, which is exactly what's occurred. 2012, people, what happened? The murder of Trayvon Martin, the murder of Mike Brown, the murder of Eric Garner. This is when that begins to happen. And as the years went on from 2012 to 2016, well, what do you know happens? Take a look at the chart. Now we are a decade later. And I want to remind
I'm benevolent. When he went on Arsenio Hall and he's playing the saxophone, he was looking real cool. That's why people was calling Bill Clinton the first black president. Like he was doing like mad cool stuff. Like he was doing like a lot of like cool stuff. He showed that he had swag and stuff like that. That's why people was like, and you know, like the saxophone, like he was like, I'm not gonna say like the saxophone is black, but it's like kind of black. Like somebody playing the saxophone, that's kind of black, especially the way he was playing it. So it was like he purposely went on this show, blowing it down with the saxophone, pause. And that's why people were like really fell in love with him. Oh yeah, of course. Because if you doing a 720, you're just going in a circle twice. 360 is a circle. No, black is a racial term. They were just saying it like it wasn't meant to be literal. It was like he's so cool. He like a black person. And at the time when Bill Clinton was doing this, it was like people had the understanding that there'll never be a black president. So basically, Bill Clinton was as close as we could get to a black president. So they was like, yo, he the first black president. Just like people like Barack Obama is not gay. They call Barack Obama the first LGBTQ president. It was never meant to be literal. Yes, James, like that's what he pretty much is about to say. Exactly. That's why I said, like I was pointing out what Justin Marks said about how the neo-Confederates don't get tired. They don't get tired. They do not get tired. Like they're not gonna stop. Black people got tired. Black people gave up the fight. That's what makes this so bad. We have gone backwards before, but we have never gone backwards like this. Two things. You know, when we used to go backwards before, we never ended up where we started. So we went 5 steps forward and we went backwards. We would only go backwards 4 steps, 3 steps, but we would still be further along than when we started. And every time we went backwards, it was other people pushing us backwards. We didn't have the power to stand our ground. For the first time ever, Black people had the power to stand their ground and solidify the gains they made. But they got tired and they walked themselves back. Remember, Trump could not have won if Black people showed up. Not in 2016, not in 2024. Black people didn't show up. White people did. We did this to ourselves. We got tired, we got lazy, we got disillusioned, and we gave all the power to our enemies, racist white people. Oh, yeah. Definitely that.
all of you who have been making this great and mighty walk with us. Shout out Dr. John Henry Clark. For those of you who have been making this great and mighty walk with us now for the last decade, if you'll all remember, I've been telling you all, if you are waiting for the cable, national cable, corporate media, corporate news to tell you what the data really is and what's really happening, you will be confused and bamboozled and deceived the whole time. I've told you all, I'm right on top of it. Here we are a decade later, and what are they now? What are they finally admitting? Folks, a decade later, not 2 or 3 years later, a decade later, the support fell off a cliff. Right after Barack Obama.
People been admitted this. Like, I already showed you the clip of Bill O'Reilly even saying this. Trump, when he won the presidency the first time, he thanked black people for not voting. This is not new information. This is not new information. It may be new to your audience because your guys are stupid, but this is not new information. And James, you are right. I said that earlier. Like again, got to give it. The black women got to give them the title. Got to give it to them. They didn't get tired. They stood on business. All this I'm tired talk, I'm not hearing it from black women. I'm hearing it from black men. And the black women I am hearing it from is the black women who follow behind these black men. I don't hear nobody else in the community talking about being tired or needing to rest. It's only these people.
Became the black face of white supremacy, running interference for the murder of black people everywhere and doing nothing about these deputized white supremacists murdering black people all over the country. His support fell off. Roland Martin claimed that wasn't the case. The DNC claimed it wasn't the case. MSNBC claimed it wasn't the case. The Griot and The Root and Angela Rye and any other jackass who would speak, they all claimed that this wasn't happening, that we were irrelevant. We were just some small little jaded corner out there. We had no effect on anything, and certainly no one agreed with us. Certainly no one agreed with us.
And let's say, for example, that was correct. So your solution to that was to give the racists the power. We're tired of the racists killing us, so let's give those racists political power over us. So them killing us in the street is not enough. We're going to give them political power over us too. Nonsense. Nonsense. And yes, I don't know why this bozo is mentioning John Henry Clark. Thank you for the 5. I don't know why. I do not know why. I don't know why. John Henry Clark would never bang with none of these bozos, but they steady mentioning his name. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. I know the Democratic Party is full of black men and black women. I know that. But it was black men who got weak. Who got weak. Remember, article after article after article was written about this. Barack Obama even did a whole thing about this, and they got on that performative ass host shit attacking Barack Obama. Matter of fact, we're gonna see if we can find that right now. We're gonna see if we can find that right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see if we can find that right now. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can find Barack Obama right now. Yeah, we're gonna have to get to that right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Wait a sec. Here it is. Can y'all see my screen? Yeah. Let me see the screen real quick. Here we go. Audio still good. Let's go.
And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
As you heard from Barack Obama. Matter of fact, let me skip past the song. We're gonna keep going. First, I would like to say this is like my first pre-recorded video. Yeah, I think this was my first video when I really started using this channel. Democratic plantation. Yeah. But you heard what Barack Obama said. This was a big thing because, again, I'm going to see if I can find the whole speech. Because I don't know if I used the whole speech.
We maintain the Affordable Care Act, so to making sure that and overcome understands the struggles more pronounced
even dive into that because that's so wacky and so out of here. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. When this video cuts off, the clip of Barack Obama talking will begin, and I want you to watch it, family. And on that note, family, peace.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting down? But, you know, because of Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to play the rest of Barack Obama speaking. But again, like I said, this is not nothing new. Barack Obama was saying this. People were saying this. You both, again, people was pointing this out. The black women was on point. The problem everybody saw was coming from the black males. And when people was pointing out that, hey, y'all not showing up. What's going on? Y'all, what did y'all do when Barack Obama said this? Y'all engaged in performative whole shit, got clutched your pearls. Barack Obama trying to give the black man a shot in the arm, trying to help him find his spine, but y'all niggas started getting performative and acting like little hoes. Like, oh, why are you talking to us like that? Why do we gotta do something? What about, why don't you go talk to Mexican men? Why are you not talking to white men? Why is it black men you coming to like this? Y'all did this the whole campaign season. Y'all did this during the election. Y'all did this after the election. We just played Tariq being a bitch doing this earlier. So one, to the no white authority, this is not some new analysis that you were saying that nobody else was hearing nowhere else. Two, this is again to James' point. Why? When he was saying that the black women are leaders now, and I had to concur with that. The black man got tired. The black man got weak. It's like a football team. We got offense and we got defense. The defense quit on us. Did the whole defense quit? No. But some people on the defense quit. And that allowed the other team to score the go-ahead touchdown and win the game. Got weak. Got tired. You ran out of gas. You ain't have it. Like this is not fake. This is not like we don't know what's going on. The only reason we even won in 2020 is because black women came out so hard body. And then they only did they come out hard in 2020, they came out even harder in 2024. But I know a lot of black males was disillusioned, but you can't get disillusioned. Our lives is on the line. Our lives is on the line. 160 years of progress is on the line. You can't be doing some I'm disillusioned. We ain't got time for that. Did the neo-Confederates cry about being disillusioned? Did they be like, oh, I'm disillusioned. I'm so disillusioned with politics. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not going to keep pushing for Jim Crow 2.0. It's not going to happen. We've been trying to do this for 160 years. I'm not trying to bring back the antebellum South. We've been trying this for how long? Every time we turn around, black people are making more and more progress, and it's getting harder and harder to push them back. Now it's looking like we can't even push them back at all. I'm so disillusioned. I just give up on my racist ways. No, they kept fighting. And now we're here because they kept fighting. They kept fighting. That's the problem. People, they got quit on us. A lot of black males quit on us. I'm not even calling y'all men. I'm calling y'all males. Y'all quit on us. Y'all quit on us. Y'all quit. Thank you for the fire emojis. Yes, they quit. They quit on us. They quit on us. Like Barack Obama was trying to help y'all find y'all spine, man. First black president, most accomplished black man in the last 500 years with no debate. Most accomplished black man in American history. President of the United States of America, trying to help black men find their spine and say, don't go out like some bitches. And when he did this speech, what did all these niggas do? Show that they was bitches. Show that they was bitches. But yeah, let's get back to this bozo. I'm gonna let him finish up, and we're gonna have to go to something different because this is just getting too depressing. It's too embarrassing. It's too depressing. This is a part of history now. That's good. When people write the history of this era, they're gonna write this is history. How the neo-Confederates, how black women had to stand in the breach to try to save 160 years of progress in the black community from the neo-Confederates because the black man got disillusioned and got tired and chose rest like a bitch. Chose rest like a bitch. Nothing you saying is disagree is going against nothing I said. The Democrats couldn't address none of that. They couldn't address none of that, but they weren't making it worse, and black people were in a position to address that. Now we're not in a position to address any of it, and the Republicans are making it worse. Like I keep saying, a zero is better than a negative. Somebody telling you, I'm not going to do nothing for you, but I'm not going to get in the way of you doing something for yourself. And you got to choose between that and somebody saying, not only am I not going to do anything for you, I'm going to take things away from you. And I'm going to actively fight you if you try to make your situation better. If you got to choose between those two things and you having a problem trying to figure out which one to do, then we can't help you. People lost homes because of Bush. You do know what happened. What happened in 2008? The Great Recession started by Bush. That's like the house was already on fire. The black wealth was already going. It was already gone. If it wasn't for Barack Obama getting in there, doing all those stimulus packages, it would have been 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse. It's not more complicated. That's like a Jew sitting around saying, Jewish men saying, you know what? We could have fought the Nazis, but we didn't. So we let the Nazis win because the Allies weren't offering us nothing. And it's like, are you stupid? The Nazis are now trying to kill all Jews. And it's like, well, it's more complicated than that because the Allies didn't talk about buying us houses or giving us Israel or talking about reparations or talk about punishing people. So it was more complicated. It wasn't more complicated. It was obvious to a duck. It was black and white. It was black and white. No one can argue with that. No one can argue with it. We had a choice. And sometimes in life, because again, I'm going to go and talk as if what you were saying is accurate. In life, sometimes you got to choose between a loss and putting yourself in a position to win. Let's say, for example, you was right. Voting for Hillary Clinton wasn't going to be a win. Voting for Kamala Harris was not going to be a win. But we don't lose. We still in the game. We still in the fight. We are still in the fight. We not in the fight no more. Barack Obama wasn't doing the benign neglect. I gotta find that Reza Islam clip when Reza Islam made it plain. I'm not a follower of Reza Islam. I don't support Reza Islam. I heard some bad things about Reza Islam, but when he said this, it was a fact. When I think it was Cam Ward, not Cam Ward, excuse me. Shout out to Cam Ward, Miami University all day. I forgot his name. I keep forgetting his name. When he asked him, well, did Barack Obama do something for black people? And what did he say? He said, the question you really want to ask is, why didn't Barack Obama do the thing that everybody wanted him to do? And yes, he didn't do that thing, but it is what it is. Can't throw a fit and cry and clutch your pearls. You can't do that. Not with all this on the line. I'm not talking to you. I'm not singling you out. Let me see. How do I say this name? I'm gonna just say Prince. I'm not singling you out. I'm not saying you a bad person or anything like that. I'm just talking about in general. People can't get weak. I ain't saying you got weak. I'm talking about just in general. We can't, like, again, our enemies are not getting tired. We can't get tired. But shout out to you for all your participation tonight. But yeah, let's keep it going.
And now take a look at it a decade later. Now that they've gotten themselves beaten into the concrete, now they're saying, yeah, it happened just the way Jason told you it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it sure was. We tried to play dumb. We tried to ignore it. We tried to act like that didn't hurt. They chopped off your leg. They chopped off your arm. That didn't hurt. And now, a decade later, they were hoping that we would fizzle out. I said this a decade ago. They were hoping it would fizzle out. They were hoping that we were just venting. They were hoping that the next election, okay, everybody jump back into place. They were hoping that that would occur, and it didn't. And I want to remind you all right now that when you take a look at this graph, take a look at where the numbers were in 2016 for the black vote. That blue line here. Take a look at where that point was there, and then take a look at about where it is from 2024. That was 2 years ago. You take a look when the Democrats got their heads beaten in 2016, and then take a look at where this thing is clearly pointing to now. You don't have to have a PhD in these things to be able to interpret the information and to be able to interpret it properly. You do have to be an honest individual who is not simply.
Yeah, you got to be an honest individual, something you're not. But I found the clip. It wasn't Cam Newton. That's why I couldn't find it before. It was Ari Spears. Like here it is, right here. This is Reza Islam right here. I think this is the clip.
I want to get into this with you a little bit. Obama.
Oh, yes, yes.
Do you or do you not take the stance he didn't do nothing for black people?
Interestingly enough, not enough black people have researched what he actually has or has not done. The thing is, he didn't do the thing that he should have done, which is what everybody's mad about, which is reparations. No black man would become president of the United States of America and do the very thing that helped America maintain her superiority over the very people that she enslaved. I'm not going to give you the thing that validates the evil that I did to you, put you in a position to do it, and then make myself look bad. It's not happening. I'm not going to give you reparations, and I'm for damn sure I'm not going to let a black man do it. He would have been assassinated. Come on, man.
Yeah. So this is the clip I was looking for. It's edited. Somebody chopped it up. So it ain't just flow like I wanted it to. I'll probably have to find that later because I don't want to keep going with this subject. But like I said, Reza Islam, I don't listen to him. But again, when he just said that to Ari Spears was a fact. When people start talking about what Barack Obama did and did not do, these are people who don't know nothing about what Barack Obama did or did not do. Never looked it up, don't follow the politics, nothing. They just mad because they didn't get reparations. Like, tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what you're mad about. You're not mad. You're not mad talking about, oh, he didn't do anything. What do you mean he didn't do anything? Obamacare alone was him doing something. There ain't a black person in America who hasn't been directly or indirectly affected by Obamacare. Obamacare gave 10 million black people insurance. That was 1/4 of the black population at the time. 25%. Nonsense. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Simply a cardboard cutout or a puppet or a shill of these political parties to be able to properly interpret what you're seeing. I have done my best to properly interpret these things for you all to project going forward where we're going to end up. So when Joe Biden won in 2020, I told all of y'all, oh, hang on just a moment. And there's nobody today who thinks that Joe Biden in 2020, that the best thing for the Democrats was Joe Biden winning.
Salute, bro. Yeah. Again, we learning together, we growing together. BYB. Again, that's why we got the BYB. We learning together, we growing together. This won't happen again.
4 years later, nobody thinks that Joe Biden winning in 2020 was a good thing. Forget losing in 2024. No one thinks that him winning in 2020 was a good thing. They're now saying they wish somebody else had gotten it, which is exactly what I told them. They would have buyer's remorse.
The only people saying they mad that Joe Biden won were the Bernie bros. The Bernie bros. They didn't want Joe Biden to win. There's nobody who actually got out here and supported Joe Biden who had buyer's remorse. Who had buyer's remorse? Nobody. Maybe some people in Michigan because you got Muslims up there and they was mad about Palestine. But otherwise than that, who voted for Joe Biden and was like, Dad, we was better under Trump? Who did that? Who said that? Nobody.
To an epic level, and they all claim that wasn't true. Now there's nobody arguing it. So if you're waiting for your cable television corporate news puppets to give you accurate information, you will literally be a decade behind because they're never going to tell you the truth in real time. And they're only saying it now because they have no choice. But it isn't because they want you to be informed. Not a damn decade later. So to all of you who've been walking with us all this time, when I told you then that Obama's support was cratering, and don't let the fact that the corporate media and the internet media isn't saying this is what it is. Well, folks, did I call it or did I call it?
They was saying that the whole time. But anyway, that was your last time playing that soundboard. We getting off of this. Shout out to everybody in the building. You got 75 in the building. BYB, exactly. Black, yellow, blue. That's what it is. But anyway, let's get on to this. For all you who don't know, I don't think I haven't watched this, so I don't know if this is the stream of the debate between FD Signifier and Bad Empanada, or this is him reacting to it. Either way, we gonna watch this. We gonna get into this. Like, and the name of this video from FD Streams, that's his other channel. I debated the worst white leftist in the world. No, he's probably the most honest white leftist in the world. They all are like this. And this is why I was saying too, when I played that clip of Vosh going in and people was like, that sound harsh. I said, Vosh is probably the least anti-black white leftist of the online left. He's probably the least anti-black one. But yeah, let's get into this.
On the screen is Bad Empanada. Bad Empanada is a C-tier, bread tube. This unique looking figure to my right on the screen is Bad Empanada. Bad Empanada is a C-tier, bread tube online left creator on YouTube. Maybe he's B-tier now. How many subscribers does he have? He's got 208 subscribers. I think that's good enough to get you to B tier. He is technically a video essayist, but if you look at his channel, as you can see, there's a lot of other people's faces on his thumbnails. Like, it's not the typical video essayist channel. At a certain point, he pivoted very hard into responding to other people's stuff. Because the fact of the matter is, he learned pretty early, and he'll admit this, he missed this during this conversation. The things he's most interested in talking about, the things that he wanted to bring to the table to LeftTube or BreadTube, were not things that the general audience was interested in. And so he could not build an audience doing that. At a certain point, he becomes, I think I described him once as the online left's attack dog, BreadTube's id. And that has been my opinion on Bad Empanada for a long time. Bad Empanada is a person who is capable of making useful content when he wants to, but is also capable of being an antisocial, edgelord, weirdo, troglodyte that nobody should really be associating with. And that nobody should be associating with thing is important because that's something that has been said privately by a lot of people on the online left for a long time, even when we agree with them. And this is specifically something that I did say on numerous occasions to Noah Sampson. I'm not going to share Discord messages or whatever, but there have been a few times when Noah's like, what about Bad Empanada? And I basically said, I get why there's an appreciation for Bad Empanada, but this dude is unhinged and unprincipled and undisciplined and is only going to cause problems for people the more attention he gets, because what he cares about more than anything is attention and clout. To be fair, it's not even just attention and clout, it's also being the edgiest boy. I think that's really what led to, in part, to his conflict with Vosh and Destiny, because they all fundamentally have similar behavior, just different politics. Because I am not the first person to say this or experience this around him. He's been transphobic in the past. He's been anti-indigenous in the past. He's been racist to Mexicans in the past. So I don't even remember the context of this, to be honest. Black Red Guard, for whatever reason, got into it Bad Empanada a while ago, and then Bad Empanada, because this is just how he behaves, has become a reply guy to Black Red Guard on Twitter. Black Red Guard says something that I think is completely logical. Can we please stop trying to use anti-Semitic slurs locally? It's not cute or funny. Bad Empanada's response is, look at this pathetic, obedient little Zog slave. He kneels before his masters and begs for scraps.
And I must have to stop it right there. Bad Empanada is what the online white left is afraid to be. That's the difference. Like you said, he's the attack dog. They don't want to come out and just say the things that Bad Empanada says. Like, that's how he got his audience, by saying what they all believe, but they don't want to say. That's why. Because again, the rest of them feel this way. They all feel this way. They don't like black people. They don't. They either don't like us or they are indifferent to us. And sometimes they feel like black people need to be put in their place. Or sometimes they don't like all that woke stuff where it's like, all right, be quiet when a black person is talking, or don't correct the black person. Or yes, this person said something, it has value because they're black. These online white lefties, they don't like that. They don't. And Bad Empanada is the one who goes out and just be like, does stuff like this, call black people a Zod slave. You think Destiny don't want to call this person a Zod slave, or Vash or Hassan? They don't agree with that, even if they wouldn't use that exact terminology. You think they don't agree with that sentiment? In part or in whole? But yeah, let's keep it going.
Going to get into all the problems with this statement more when we actually get to the debate part. But seeing this, it's like, okay, I start to recognize there is a...
Exactly. And people like Bad Empanada is going to be their attack dogs. Like you pretty much, as they get bigger, they can't say things like this. Because I'm pretty sure if you go back in all these other dudes' channel histories, when their channels were as small as Bad Empanadas, they were saying things like this. They were liking things like this. They would defend statements like this.
A willful desire, and this is something I've known forever, because this is, again, what debate bros have kind of always been. The desire to be edgy and to be free to behave in certain ways. Leftists of this ilk will use whatever the issue du jour is to get away with that behavior. So after noticing, I'm like, I don't know if this is like the person that people should be leaning on to have that discussion. Zog is literally a Nazi term. Zog is a term that is born from the Turner Diaries. So the term Zog means Zionist occupied government, and it literally comes from the Turner Diaries. The Turner Diaries is the neo.
Exactly. That's what I said. Bad Empanada is what they all are. If you got a problem with Bad Empanada, you got to have a problem with the whole online left. I don't. I already know, but I don't want to know. You feel me? I already know, but I don't want to know.
Nazi Bible. What you see here with Bad Empanada is him literally just using neo-Nazi terminology against a black person.
Exactly. Horseshoe. Like I said, horseshoe. The racist right and the class reductionist left feel the same way about black people. Same way, horseshoe.
Unironically, that is what, and literally the use of that term, Zog slave, is explicitly tied to black people, as these anti-Semitic tropes and conspiracy theories tend to imply. The reason why neo-Nazis hate the Jews is because the Jews utilize black people and other people of color to dilute the white race, prop us up into positions of power to create white genocide. This short, and I talk.
Exactly. That's another reason why I Kanye is such a bozo. Because that's the neo-Nazi teaching. That's why they really hate the Jews, because they say that the Jews basically use black people as a are using black people as a bioweapon to destroy the white race so they can rule. Like, disgusting.
About this with Noah directly. This short is labeled, in quotes, Zionist is a dog whistle. In quotes. And then he titles it, FD signifier calls Zionist a Nazi dog whistle. So there's no other thing to understand about what he's trying to say here than I specifically said, literally, because that's what quotes are used for in the English language, and he is an English speaker primarily, that I said Zionist is a Nazi dog whistle. I want you to hear what I actually said. As they've materialized for content and for clout, that has been alarming, and it's been something I personally stayed away from, in part because as Bill saw, like there's so many people waiting in the weeds to label you a Zionist and a Jewish supremacist and a insert Nazi dog whistle here for just being like, this sounds weird. Y'all are sounding a little weird. But that also doesn't mean that there's not a better version of the analysis that I could be operating with, or that could be put out in the forefront, which is, I think, what I'm most hopeful to get at. So I'm barely coherent in this clip. Out of context, this clip makes no sense. But understand, at no point in this clip do you hear me say Zionist is a Nazi dog whistle. As they materialize for content and for clout. That has been alarming. It has been alarming. That has been alarming. And it's been something I personally stayed away from, in part because as Bill saw, like there's so many people waiting in the weeds to. There's so many people waiting in the weeds. And in this situation, the irony is I'm referring to Bad Empanada. Label you a Zionist and a Jewish supremacist and a insert Nazi dog whistle here for just being like, this sounds weird. Y'all are sounding a little weird. That's referring to this. Anybody that says to Bad Empanada and his fans, hey, I think it's weird that you all are using genuine dog whistles, terms created by neo-Nazis to spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, which he, as he shows himself, understands are not good. I think it's weird that you would do that. I think it's weird that that's happening. But you know what? I'm not even going to jump in there with y'all, because once I start saying that, you're going to just call me a Zionist or an insert Nazi dog whistle here. The Nazi dog whistle in question is Zog Slave. It's weird to me that leftists who are anti-Zionist and pro-Palestine would adopt language and terminology from neo-Nazis to employ.
Because they don't really care about Palestine. See, that's the thing right here. They don't care about Palestine. I already pointed that out, that the left that's horseshoe theory right there with the Palestine issue. You think people like Tucker Carlson care about Palestinians? No, that's just his way to be able to attack Jews. You think a lot of these lefties, online lefties, care about Palestinians? No, that just gives them the right to attack Jews. That's it. They don't really care about these people. They don't care about them. And it's just their way of doing two things: attacking Jews and also attacking black people. Because every time these people seem to be attacking Jews and the Democratic Party, they always seem the way to rope black people into it. Always. Without fail.
Them to be anti-Zionist and pro-Palestinian. I don't think that's useful. I don't think that's useful at all. I think that's counterproductive on multiple levels. And I also just think it's weird and disrespectful and racist. There's a clear incentive for him to constantly do content like this. And that's who he's shaped himself as in the last 4 or 5 years. Like, he wasn't getting traction at all until he started beefing with Vosh and Destiny. And that kind of created his persona. And he's leaned into that persona, as I said at the beginning of the video, pretty much this entire time. To be just blunt, Bad Empanada and this specific type of debate bro style creator, they work for a specific type of leftist figure online. It's not just the left. It's really all of these reactionary types, where these are fundamentally weak individuals, fundamentally weak people that get joy out of someone they perceive as strong, dominating another person. They like the idea that they are fans of the big strong man, the person that wins fights and debates. It's very much wrestling. Going back to this thing creators like Bad Empanada are doing with the genocide in Palestine, they are using it as a get out of canceled free card to just punch left. And don't get me wrong, There's criticism to be made around ContraPoints, various other creators, and how they've engaged in two-sided, the genocide, that I agree with. There's a necessary critique that I kind of wish I will just hold this L. I realized this is the beginning of the year when I started arguing with y'all, not y'all in particular, but when I started arguing with my chat about how Candace Owens has a point and you have to hand it to Candace Owens, I realized, oh shit, we failed. We failed to normalize and frontline a disciplined critique on the issue. And not just we, obviously the Democratic Party is the main culprit. Like, I want to be clear on that. But I was like, oh shit, we didn't do our jobs. If this is something I'm seeing, and I was also seeing that in real life. Badamai has a history degree. I don't think his history degree is in American studies. I'm pretty sure it's world studies. I'm sure he knows something about American history. I'm sure he has a better grasp than the average person, but he doesn't really understand white supremacy and racism. He doesn't. He thinks he does. He thinks his analysis is actually really good. It's not. And so here's an example. We were talking about.
They don't call them out is because these black leftists, they more leftist than they are black. They more leftist than they are black. Like even what you call it? FD Signifier, when he was talking about some of the the anti-blackness in the leftist space, he was saying, well, it's more important to get rid of capitalism first. They care more about getting rid of capitalism than they care about black people. That's why I don't bang with the black lefties. This is why when people be trying to make that point about, oh, all these black great people were lefties. Yes, and they all ended up abandoning that lefty stuff because it was more about class than it was about black issues. They didn't care about black issues. They only cared about class issues. A lot of them was racist. They damn self. Exactly. I don't bang with no black with the black lefties. That's why we got the yellow. I'm doing social liberalism. I'm not doing no lefty nonsense. I'm not doing no lefty nonsense. Exactly. The reason why they attack black liberals so much is because that's what they trained to do. Like because the lefties will teach them that the liberal is their biggest enemy. You ever notice that the lefty YouTubers spent more time attacking the Democrats than they did the Republicans? They spend more time attacking liberals than they do conservatives. That's what they trained to do. That's what they trained to do. They will attack black liberals with no regard, but will turn around and give racist white lefties a pass, or try to justify the stuff they say, or try to explain it away, or like, oh, well, they didn't really mean it like that, or they don't really understand, or we got to do some education, or they all not like that, or yeah, some of them is pushing class reductionism, but it's better we got to get rid of capitalism first anyway, and then we could come back and focus on racial issues. Always some nonsense. Always. Oh, I ain't know nothing about that. I got to look into that. I didn't know some of them was pro-apartheid, but who knows, man? Like, again, nothing that these lefties, that these true to the game lefties push surprised me. I bang with Kyle too. But I also got to remember that when I'm talking about the person, when FD Signify was talking about the class reductionism and stuff like that, he was responding to Kyle, because again, Kyle is like one of the better ones, like not even one of the better ones. He is like the best one. But at the end of the day is over. Like, identity politics do matter. Our black issues do matter, and I'm not putting no class issue above black issues. That's out. That's out.
The nature of becoming white in America for Jewish people, and we compared it to Irish people and what Irish people went through. And so he decides that no, Irish people were always white in America based on some things he's about to say.
One thing that people are always wrong about in the US, for example, is that like.
All right, we got to save this for tomorrow because it's getting late and I got to get up super early. I'm sorry, family. Normally, you know, I'll be able to go late, but, you know, I'm going to try to start earlier. Because it's like, yeah, I got to get up super early. Maybe tomorrow I could stay up later. Oh, yeah, I unsubscribed from a lot of people going back to Hillary Clinton. Like, that's clip. Y'all done. Yeah, but anyway, I gotta go. But family, thanks everybody who was rocking with me tonight. Thank you for all the support that I got. Much appreciated. You know, if you want to support the channel more, PayPal, Cash App, it's in the pinned comment. You know, I take it all. Super thanks, super chat, everything. You know, the little jewels, everything. I take it all. Hit that reaction heart, fire emojis. That's all support. Liking the video, everything. But yeah, we got to give our shout outs. Shout out to Justin March for gifting 5 memberships. Family, you can go get your own membership. But if he gifted you a membership, make sure you say thank you and make sure you keep the membership going. You could even raise it if you want to, drop it down if you want to, but keep the membership going. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton. He had donated $10 before the stream had got cut off and had to restart it. But shout out to Lee D. Clinton. Shout out to McNasty. He just made a month as a member of the channel. He's a level 2 member. Shout out to bro. Thank you for all the support. Shout out to Q Dawn. I think that's how you say the name. Q Dawn 7. If you still in the building, let me know if I'm saying your name right. Thank you for the 5. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. But yeah, I'm out of here. But yeah, have a good night, good evening, good afternoon, good everything. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. On that note, family, peace. And go subscribe to my second channel if you haven't subscribed to that second channel.